want to destroy the world. Without a solution, destroying the world will just be like a piece of cake. Pick yourself up to start a key with just 250,000 Japanese yen. Call the number below to get it now. A choice that you will never regret.
Between 1945 and 1948, with only 250,000 yen, Fort Detrick, a U.S. Army biological lab, bought almost all the files from Japan's Unit 731, a notorious biological and chemical warfare unit during World War II. You're probably asking the same questions as I am. Question number 1. What exactly did Fort Detrick buy from Unit 731? Well, here's what we found. The files Fort Detrick bought were reports, intelligence, and data of Unit 731's 30-year research, including human subject research, biological warfare, bacterial experiments, poison gas experiments, and so on. And in exchange for these files, the U.S. Army bypassed the Tokyo trial and covered up the truth of Unit 731, and the whole unit were exempted from international trial. And this Pandora's box was brought back to Fort Detrick. Did the U.S. go to all the trouble just to develop a pesticide?
What?
Well, question number 2. Is there a potential link between COVID-19 and U.S. biological laboratories? Well, for decades, Fort Detrick has been hosting some of the most dangerous scientific programs, studying many deadly viruses such as Ebola and smallpox. In 2019, Fort Detrick was shut down by the U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention due to its repeated violations against biosafety and containment procedures, some of which were even labeled as serious problems. At almost the same time, an unknown respiratory illness broke out in a community just 1 hour's drive from Fort Detrick. And now more and more scientific researchers argue that
COVID-19 may have been quietly spreading in the United States weeks earlier than previously thought.
In the United States alone, at least 5 states had coronavirus infections before the first reported cases in the country as early as December 2019. So what is the connection between Fort Detrick and the unknown respiratory illness? And what's behind the shutdown of U.S. Army biological lab? That's not the end of the story. Just think about it. Fort Detrick is just one of the more than 200 U.S. biological labs scattered around the world. How many secrets are hiding behind them? And not to mention, a research article published in 2008 has stated that the U.S. has the capability of synthesizing various SARS-like coronaviruses, and one of its authors is American coronavirus expert Ralph Stephen Barrick. Files from Japan's Unit 731, shutdown of Fort Detrick, more than 200 U.S. biological labs, unknown respiratory illness and coronavirus infections, capability of synthesizing coronavirus. Are these all coincidence? Recently, an international poll showed that among netizens who participated, more than 83% of them wanted the WHO to launch investigations into the United States. And don't forget, the US is the only country in the world that refuses to ratify the Biological Weapons Convention Protocol, while being home to the largest number of biological laboratories in the world. It is time for the US to come out of the dark and explain itself to the world. So, my last question, Fort Detrick, what is it that you are afraid of?